Hi there, and thanks for joining me. Does it feel like food cravings are really taking over your body and your life? Well, today I've got something special for you. We're going to talk about something called emotional freedom techniques and how it can help you with your food cravings. What is EFT? It's a powerful set of techniques. Involves light tapping on acupressure points that are close to the surface of the body, along with mindful and vocal attention to what you're noticing in your body and how you're feeling. It's really powerful in releasing challenging emotions, triggers, beliefs, those sorts of things. Large and growing body of research supporting it, allowing us to think more clearly, reducing our stress, think more clearly, make better choices, which is something we really want with food cravings, right? We want to make better choices. Lots of research in the area of anxiety, PTSD, and depression, and a really growing body of research in the area of weight management and food cravings from Dr. Peter Stapleton out of Bond University. Um, so what they're finding, what her team is finding, is that it's very effective in reducing food cravings and in helping you to manage your weight overall, um, and you're able to maintain these benefits over time, so the cravings don't come back. So I'm just going to keep going. What I want you to know is that when they look at fMRI studies with emotional freedom techniques, before and after tapping. Before the tapping, they can see that the stress part of your brain, the amygdala, is lit up. After the tapping, they can see that it has calmed down. And so what's really interesting is that when you the whole food craving uh, mechanism is related to your amygdala. Your amygdala is part of the reward and pleasure pathway. And so when you have a food craving, when you see something that you really enjoy, you really like, that part of your brain will light up. And so by using the tapping, you calm that part of your brain down, you calm the stress response, the food craving, um, so that you're not craving that food anymore. So we today are going to tap on just one aspect of a food craving. Before we do that, I just quickly want to talk about some of the different aspects. So we're just going to look at smell today, just for one thing to do. But you might actually just look at whatever it is that you're craving, and just looking at it, just thinking about looking at it. might get you going. So you might be tapping. You might not even start at the smell. You might start even though I'm just thinking about looking at it, and I can feel this this rush in my chest. I deeply and completely accept myself. And you would tap on that. You would take it step by step. It could be when you open it. It could be the sound of opening it, if it's like a bag of chips or something, or a bag of popcorn or whatever. Sometimes just that sound can get you. Sometimes it's the crinkling of the wrapping. Sometimes it's the smell. I mean, and it can be all of these things or a combination of these things. Sometimes you smell it. Ooh, yeah, that's good. And you want some of it. Sometimes it's the idea of the texture of what it's going to feel like in your mouth. The creaminess of the chocolate melting in your mouth. Sometimes it's the body sensation, the excitement, or the relaxation. Everybody's going to respond differently to whatever the food is. Sometimes that reminds you of something. Maybe for me, my mom used to make. Oh well, she still makes these amazing Italian cookies. And whenever I have these cookies, it reminds me of. And they're not even particularly sweet. It's just something that has a really nice relation to me. Like, it reminds me of big family gatherings when I was a kid. So I love those. It could be a belief that you have around food. It's not going to make a difference if I don't eat it anyways. This is how my family eats. I can't stop eating it. I have to have it. I don't want to I can't be deprived. I'll be deprived if I don't have it. There could be a million different things that you're thinking about your food. And I'm sure I've missed a few. But we're going to start with smell, and I'm just going to show you quickly how to do a couple of rounds of tapping on that. Okay? So go and get whatever it is that you're craving. Pause the video right now if you don't have it already. If you don't have it close by, you can just start thinking about it, get a visual in your head. You can call up a picture on your phone, whatever you need to do, and just start to get an idea of the intensity of how much you want it. Now I'm gonna say it's 9:30 in the morning right now, and me just looking at this, whatever it's. I've just had breakfast and I've had my coffee. Like, I'm not really feeling like I need it right now, so it's not huge for me. But time of day is another big aspect that you might want to tap on when you're looking at food cravings, after work, before dinner, like that sort of time, after dinner when you're watching TV, that would be a thing. Like, thinking about what is it satisfying, what need is it satisfying in you. Okay, back to the smell. So looking at it, if I look at it right now, honestly, I could take it or leave it. But I'm going to open it up and I'm going to smell it. And when I smell it, I will say it's not huge, but I'm like, oh, that does smell really good. Like, I probably could have just a little piece with my little coffee. That would be nice, even though it's 9:30 in the morning. So, and just, paying attention to how it makes you feel in your body too. Maybe it's like that warm, comfortable feeling that spreads across your chest, or the excitement, or the your mouth is salivating, or whatever. Just take a smell and think right now, 0 to 10, how much do you want it? So I'm gonna say it's only like a 3 or a 4, so it's not that high. But we're gonna start tapping. So very important to rate it from 0 to 10 before you start. We're just going to do 2 rounds of tapping. So, who knows what's going to happen here. You're going to repeat after me and tap where I tap. So even though this food smells delicious, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though this food, and you can insert whatever it is for you, is hard to resist, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though the smell of this food is amazing, and I'd really like to have some of it, that's just what's happening for me right now. And so we're going to tap on the top of our head, the smell of this food. And you can even have it, you can be smelling it while you're doing it. The smell on the inside of the eye, now tapping the smell of this food. And then on the outside of the eye, to me it smells rich and creamy, a little bit salty. The smell of this food. And then under the nose, the smell of this food. And then at the chin, this smell is so powerful. And I'm just using general words, but you can be really specific to what you're smelling. And at the collarbone, the smell of this food. And then at the side of the arm, the smell of this food. All right. So now we did 1 full round of EFT. Now you're going to take your food again. And you're going to smell it. And actually, it's not as strong for me. I'm trying to think of a way to describe it. It is still rich, but it's not as powerful. So, and kind of the creaminess is gone. And this is kind of what happens when you tap. So could still have a piece. So I'm going to do 1 more round of tapping. So I'm going to do this 1 more round. Even though I would still have a piece. It's still smelling rich and creamy, but it's not as strong. I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though it's not as powerful, it's still there. And that's just how I'm feeling right now. Even though I probably could still have a piece, the smell of this food is still really nice. It's not as rich. It's actually not as earthy for me either, but I deeply and completely accept myself. And then we're going to tap through the smell of this food. This changed a little bit, but it's still powerful. I can still smell the richness. It's less rich, but it's a powerful food smell. This powerful food smell. The smell of this food. And at the side of the arm, my food smell. And then once you've done another round, now, I don't know about you, but I mean, that was 2 rounds, and it's really come down. I mean, I know I was only at 4, but I don't think I would have any right now. Anyways, I don't think I really want to. But you can keep tapping. And what you're going to notice as you do this is that other things are going to come up. So maybe it's not so much the smell anymore, but you're thinking about the taste in your mouth. And you can actually invoke that by just taking a little piece and touching it to your tongue, or putting a little piece in your mouth. And then tapping on what you're noticing then, and maybe what you're feeling in your body. Writing down any memories that come up, those sorts of things. It's really handy, and if there's a certain time of day when you tend to have more food cravings than others, it's always good to also tap at that time of day. It's good to tap ahead of time when you're not in the midst of the craving, just to train your brain to actually do the tapping. When you have a craving, you can tap then. Remember to have some water, and just noticing what other aspects are coming up for you and how things have changed. So this can be really helpful over the holiday seasons too, if you tap before you go, or if you just excuse yourself and go into the washroom and do a bit of tapping, like, oh my gosh, Grandma made her famous chocolate brownies, and I really want one of those chocolate brownies. The colors, they're so deep and rich. The smell, whatever it is that you want, that's driving you. Very useful. So remember, the key is to enjoy this time of year without, overindulging and too much, anyways, and compromising your well-being. Life shifts, and so can you. Menopause is a groove, not a grind. Enjoy your holiday season. I hope this video was helpful for you. I know it went a bit long. There's so much more we could have covered. If you could use some help managing your cravings, managing your, really getting a handle on what you want out of this part of your life, then let's chat. Download your freebies. Come join me over at Living in Yes. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Talk to you soon. And Happy New Year.